Okay. We're here. We're back. It's 3 for the Money. New episodes every Thursday, every single week, every single month, every single year.
Damn straight.
And yeah, I mean,
We're here.
we're here.
We're back.
We're back.
It's 3 for the money.
Again. Thought that was going somewhere else.
Let's see. The NHL playoffs are still going, and so are the NBA playoffs. But yeah, before we kind of dive into that, how are we feeling this week?
I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah?
Been doing all right in gambling.
I know you had a few good days here.
Sunday, 4-0, swept the board. Monday was all right. Yesterday, went 4-3 with a plus money winner. We'll take it. Been doing pretty well in the NHL playoffs. So I decided to dip my toe into that because baseball has not been good. Wasn't good today. Went 2-3.
Does it get better?
I like to think eventually it better. From like June to or July to like September. That's it, man.
Yeah.
You're not going to stop.
That and like WNBA. Chris's
Chris,
WNBA gambling.
You bet on the WNBA.
I've done it before.
No, God.
I did it last year when there was like that one day during the MLB All-Star break where they had
I remember you doing this.
one game of American sports, like just for the whole day, and it was a WNBA game at 10:30 in the morning, and I bet on it and I watched it, and it was terrible.
I remember you doing that.
Yeah, I was watching it at work. It was me and my buddy Zach. We were watching it, and I was like, "Hey, this isn't half bad. Like, I don't get why everyone shits on this like product." As soon as I said that, it was like 4 straight possessions, air balls. I was like, "Yeah, okay, this is a joke."
I get it now. I get it.
I remember what I bet, but it lost, and I was pissed.
Lots of fundamentals.
Lots of poorly executed fundamentals. But yeah, doing all right.
All right, Sean, are you still responsibly retired?
Mm-hmm.
How's that going?
It's going great.
I mean, it can't be
Feel
going poorly.
Yeah, I feel good.
He's not losing bets.
I'm not winning either, though.
Yeah, but you're not losing, and not losing is winning in gambling. Even though you're not gambling.
Mm-hmm.
Have you gotten the itch?
I did have the thought, like, the other day where I was like, what if, like, some alternate reality version of me just made, like, a 10-leg parlay to win, like, $50,000, and it won? And I was like, I can't do it.
That could be you.
It could be me, but
Somebody at work, one of his friends hit whatever legger. It was like 10 to win 1,500.
you know,
It's like on NBA player props. I was
it
like,
really,
son of
it
bitch.
really does suck to see other people living your dreams.
See, I keep thinking that because I was talking about with someone, I forget who, that I think it was last year in the NBA. I was like, I'm just going to start making first basket score parlays, like with 2 legs.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, and put like $2 on it, and that like $2 alone would cash out like I think it was over $100 at least if you took like the favorite. And I was like, I'll just keep doing this. If I hit 1, I will come out way ahead. I think I got like maybe not even a month, like 2 or 3 weeks into the season. I was like, this sucks.
Yeah.
It's just like just seeing losers every week. Like yeah, you're only losing like $2 or $3 a night.
Did either of you see on Twitter somebody cashed a method of first basket by Embiid to be a 3-pointer?
I didn't see
No,
that.
Did you see the shot?
Oh,
That
I
like,
saw the
first,
shot. I know what you're talking about.
It
now.
hit the rim, bounced up, and then went in. And I was just like,
Oh, man.
how did you?
I just want
Just
one
like-
of those, man.
You just need one, and like you're golden.
I mean,
And it was like
that
plus
was
like
probably
6,000.
$1 billion. Yeah, like, jeez.
That's crazy.
I remember this guy on Twitter a few years ago. It was on Thanksgiving. The Lions were playing the Texans, and that game was bonkers.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And it was I don't know. I didn't even know this was an option. It was on some book. I forget who. But he had Mohamed Sanu, 7th game touchdown score
Mm-hmm.
plus like
I sent that to you. I
8
remember that.
billion,
Yeah.
and it hit.
7th game touchdown.
Yeah,
You know who that was? I remember who that was.
I don't
was
remember.
Grit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was. That's how I heard of him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot about shout out, but yeah, I've totally forgot that was him. But I just remember seeing that. I was like, one time, man,
I sent that.
just one time.
I sent that.
I won.
I sent his tweet to the group chat,
Mhm.
and I was just like, "This guy's from the future. He's a time
I
traveler."
remember he won like two or three other like big bets on
Yeah.
that game
Yeah.
that day. But it's like Mohamed Sanu, who I didn't even know was still in the league until he caught that pass, like 7th or whatever it was game touchdown score. Just for a game alone to have 7 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I think it was is that like it was labeled as like the 7th touchdown being, will there be another touchdown?
Yeah.
Who will?
yeah.
It's like next.
Oh,
Touchdown.
so like it was live.
Like
it
it was
already
it was a
happened.
live bet. So it was like the 7th touchdown will be caught or ran
Whatever.
or whatever.
That's still insane.
whatever method. So that's what the bet was. I
That's
think.
okay. That's still insane though that it was Mohamed Sanu.
Yeah,
who,
and he was
again,
just
I
like,
didn't
"Eh,
even know was playing
20
professional
bucks."
football.
Yeah. I don't get people who have that sort of sense.
I just want one, man.
Or even if they have a sense, they're
I don't
just
even-
like, I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to throw it on it.
And I just make rational parlays that lose by a leg, by like half a point, and it crushes my soul. And these guys are out here hitting fucking plus 60,000 parlays.
Or we make parlays where none of the legs hit, and
I've
we're
done
just like,
that.
hey, it's like I was almost right. It was like I was basically I was so wrong that I was right.
When that happens, it's kind of like it's almost more. It's definitely more impressive to
Yeah.
be completely
I was
wrong.
I was
Yeah,
so
yeah.
wrong that I was right.
Yeah. I was about to say that. It's almost
Yeah.
more impressive.
How are you doing, Will?
So I'm okay.
That's good.
I'm not as bad as last time.
Hey, that's all you can hope for.
Yeah. You know, I've really only been betting on the NHL. And really overs and unders. Like I find
Pretty much
that
what I've been doing.
I find that like trying to pick a winner in the NHL playoffs is almost impossible. It's no matter which way you take it, underdog favorite, 60-minute line. It's I can't. I don't know. I
That's
can't
hard,
get a feel
man.
for it
I-
unless it's like a favorite in the series
Mm-hmm.
loses game 1 at home,
Yeah.
and then you got to take them game 2.
Yeah, if it's something like that.
Something
but
like
we're
that.
way past that now. We're in the thick of it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
So,
I had last night. I had Oilers 60-minute line.
mhm.
They lost 5-1.
Yeah. I mean, this.
But that being said, you do have a money line bet tonight, correct?
Me?
I
Oh,
do.
you?
Yes,
I do. Because,
Oh, the Oilers.
yeah.
Yeah.
I have the Oilers tonight, 60-minute line, because if they lose this game,
They're fucked.
it's over. And so, if it goes to overtime, I will be hammering the Oilers to make up the money that I lost. So,
That's smart.
Yeah.
Have you thought about how we're like possible, like the conference finals could be Carolina, Florida, Seattle, and/or Dallas, and Vegas?
yeah,
That's
I thought
wild.
it's
I mean,
Hockey Central.
all yeah, right. Well, 2 of those teams don't, or 3 of those teams don't have cups.
right.
So,
And Carolina only has one.
and they won it in like the 2006
2004? Oh, 6. Okay.
or
Yeah,
4.
4.
was
No, wait,
4.
no, it was 6.
It's 6.
It was 6. Because 2005 was the lockout, and 2004 was Tampa Bay, their first cup.
That's correct. Yes.
I thought Tampa Bay won the year after the lockout.
No, that would be the Hurricanes.
But I thought, okay.
Because the lockout was 05.
We have the internet.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Because the lockout was 05, and that was the random Crosby draft.
Ugh.
That draft was
Random.
That draft was completely
Oh, that's
random.
another thing we
Random.
need to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm just kind of betting overs and unders. Seattle Dallas series has just like the overs are just complete money.
You're
It honestly makes no sense taking to me anyway, based off like the regular season knowledge, is like Seattle, like their goaltending was okay, and like they don't have a ton of scoring, and like Dallas has great goaltending, but their team is like third and fourth line are just like kind of okay. But it's been like completely opposite. Like everyone's been scoring.
Mhm.
Like I think these first 3 games that we've seen so far like have all been decided by like 4 goals or something.
We say the same thing with the Carolina New Jersey series.
Yeah, for sure.
All those games have been blowout. Like I think all 4 of those games a goalie has been pulled.
Yeah,
That's
and
insane.
It's
And-
all bonkers.
And like I don't know about the Dallas Seattle series, but I'm pretty sure all 4 games in Carolina New Jersey, the total's been 5.5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's like what the hell?
Yeah.
Like the Luge
Because
scored
their
like
goaltending is supposed to be good.
they scored like what?
and they have 3 of their top 6 that are out.
Yeah, but I mean, like I get that, but also it was like the game. It was the game Sunday. What was the score? Like 8-4
Yeah.
or something like
Yeah.
that.
They
You
scored
come
12
back.
goals.
You come back 2 days later. The total's still 5.5.
Yeah.
Like at least bump it to 6 or something. Like I'll still hammer that over. But
Yeah.
I say that, and it'll probably be like 2-1 the rest of the series. But
So yeah, and I've also been taking the over in the Oilers series, which hasn't cashed the last 2 times, but
that last one was brutal.
it's almost impossible for me to bet an under for that series, just because it's Connor McDavid, it's the Oilers, and it's the Knights. I mean, I think the Knights are on their second or third goalie.
I have the under tonight.
That's
It's
fair.
going to go way over, though. I just have a feeling.
That's
I hate
fair.
it.
So I got 2 plays tonight, possibly 3. So yeah, that's really kind of what I've just been getting into. Yeah, that's about it. Anything else on the NHL playoffs?
I feel like we kind of touched on all of it.
Yeah. I think game 1 of Toronto, Florida, I was like, all these games are going to go over. And that's what I thought, because they got Bobrovsky in net, and that guy kind of sucks. And supposedly
He
the
did.
Leafs
Yeah.
are supposed to be good, and like the overs cruised in that first series with the Leafs and the Lightning. Those were just money all the time. But this all of these games have gone under, and Toronto is
Well, Bobrovsky's been playing out of his mind.
and
Which-
Toronto lost their starting goalie, and they're probably gonna get swept.
They're up 1-0 right now.
Yeah.
Going into the third period.
I really need Florida.
Yeah, they could get swept, or they could just it could be that kind of thing where it's like this team is too good to be swept.
To get swept,
But like in 5,
if they lose, if they
6
win
maybe.
tonight, I think they'll win 6 or they'll win 5, but then they'll lose when they go back to Florida.
yeah, it's the Florida team has just been crazy to watch.
Mhm.
They've just really just controlled play pretty much the entire time, and they're scrappy. And Toronto's playing this like Eastern style hockey where it's not like go go go. They'll get the puck in like their side of the neutral zone and throw it back to their D to like kind of regroup and get their breakout. But Florida's forecheck is just so strong that they're able to capitalize on that.
This is just typical Toronto.
Yeah, yeah.
Just
First time you make it out of the first round since 2004.
and you're staring down the barrel.
Literally.
Just
Just shoot yourself in the foot. Like,
Does this even really count? Like, if they get swept
If
in
they-
the second round, does it even really
count as like a series win. No, I mean,
yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
like,
but like when people are like, if they don't
It's
win
nothing
it,
to brag
if they don't
about.
win another
Yeah.
series for like 5 years, and people are like, oh, this will be the first series win in 5 years, you can just be like, well, yeah,
it's like,
but then they also got swept by the 8th seed in the next round. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough to call, but it's really fun to watch Toronto implode. It's
It's my favorite part of the playoffs.
yeah. So I think that's all the series that's going on right now. Do you want to talk about the draft before we get into NBA? Or?
Touch on. I don't have many opinions on it. Bedard's gonna make our lives living hell for the next 10 years, probably at least.
Yeah, Chicago winning the draft almost seems kind of rigged, but I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah,
I'll be that guy.
I just want to say my one thing before, because I don't know enough about it to say like rigged or anything. It sucks as a Preds fan to say this. I'd rather the Blackhawks have got it than the Ducks.
Really?
Because the Ducks already have so much young talent.
Yeah.
They could have like an actual dynasty. Like,
I mean,
Yeah, I
With-
guess
with
you're
the
right.
second overall pick, they
they still
like,
very much
great.
could. Yeah.
They're gonna get
but-
Fantilli.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still Bedard. I mean, they're already crowning him as the next McDavid. So it's like you add him to an already really good, and they'll still probably be really good. But it would just suck to have like, okay, this team is definitely going to be really good, as opposed to okay, the Blackhawks are probably going to be really good.
Yeah, there's still room for the Blackhawks to fuck it up.
Yeah, you don't just get to add him to like your shit roster and be like, all right, Cup.
it's just like
Like, yeah.
they had these like allegations like
Oh, that's
2021
Yeah.
where they were fined like $2 million, and like the league was like, hey, you can't be doing this shit. And then it was just like, okay, we're sorry, here's $2 million.
That
they're
is
like,
bullshit.
okay. And then they dump Kane at the deadline. They are choosing not to re-sign Taze. I
He's
think
gonna
that's
retire.
fine. He's old.
He's gonna retire.
He's probably gonna retire,
He's got long.
or he'll
COVID.
play for the Dallas Stars, which all Chicago Blackhawks eventually do.
Future Coyotes legend, Jonathan Taves.
Hey, they're getting a new stadium.
Raise the banner.
But then like you get rid of like your franchise players, and then they're just like, here's a new one.
Yeah.
There you go, buddy.
Yeah. it
Happy.
sucks.
There you go.
I agree. I mean, that is especially like the whole like sexual assault stuff. And
Yeah.
It's like how the Coyotes got stripped of a first round pick for having an illegal training camp or whatever the hell.
Yeah. They're like doing testing.
And then like the Blackhawks covered crimes,
Yeah.
and they get who could be the greatest player of all time.
And it's just like, there's absolutely no way the NHL was gonna let Bedard go to Columbus.
I agree.
No.
There was
Yeah.
no
No,
way.
we're gonna
There
do
was
that.
absolutely no
Yeah.
way. They were gonna rig it against that
And I
to
don't
begin
blame
with. And I don't blame it either. But like, it's just like, it is kind of. It does feel rigged. I'm not
All
saying
these-
it is rigged, but it feels rigged.
all these
and-
all these lottery things, I'm convinced they are
Yeah.
a smidge. Like if it's a once in a generational thing, like
Yeah.
talent thing, they're a little bit.
So
rigged.
like,
They're not. The NBA's not going to let Wembanyama go to the fucking like Hornets. He's
Yeah.
going to go to like someone who I don't know the odds right in front of me,
The
but
Wizards.
they only have like a 2% chance.
Oh, okay.
I would love for him to go to the Wizards. Though. That would be hilarious.
So I did like a smidge of research on how the NBA or the NHL draft lottery is done, because it's done by like balls,
Mhm.
you know.
Yes,
And do you know how close the Predators were to getting the 5th
In this
overall
year?
pick? Yes.
How close?
They were one like digit away. They were one ball away. They only needed like it's
Were we
so
even
weird.
in like? How does that work? Because I know with the NBA, with like, I know how all that works. How does the NHL work? Because
So
I
it's
know
like-
because I only saw there was 10 teams or whatever in contention for the first round pick.
It has to do with like the number of balls you have in in the
So
pot.
did the
right?
were the Preds eligible for the first overall pick in the first?
Like
Because-
I think we
point,
had-
they had like a 1.2%.
Okay. So I saw like a
chance.
graphic that was like the Bedard sweepstakes, and
Yeah.
the Preds weren't on it.
Okay.
So I
well,
didn't know. I mean, they might not have just
They-
put them on it because there wasn't
they
a
were-
chance.
But yeah, the Preds were very close to getting the 5th overall pick by like, they needed like, I think each team has like 4 different balls that they need to get the seeding or something. It's very confusing on how they do it. I tried to like understand it by just reading it, but I couldn't find any like videos on it because they don't like allow videotape of the drawings,
Of course, they do.
which is
kind of sus.
a little sus.
What they should do is they should have like a lottery ball thing with like each team's logo.
Well, that's what it is.
What they should do is like Blackhawks win, or like first pick, they just take all their balls out, so everyone still has.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
So it like just you
So it's
get
actually it's like
increasingly
first gets picked first.
and then you take a timeout and take all their balls out,
Yeah.
and then you just keep going. So that way, like your odds of whatever increase as
I don't disagree with that.
that
at
would be
all.
more
And
fun.
also,
at
just the
least.
way like the NHL announces the like who gets what pick, they get that board, and they're just like they flip it over,
Yeah,
and it's
it's
just like you're like,
There's no,
what is this?
Where's the pageantry?
Yeah, there is no pad. It's not
That's
even
what I'm
like
saying,
a
like
graphic.
watching a ball come out of the chute or whatever.
electric.
That would be way more entertaining.
Yeah.
than
That's a lottery.
some guy just
flipping over a
card.
whiteboard.
Like
I
it's
don't
like 8th grade algebra.
I don't know. That's always like irked me about the NHL draft. And, also just of course, the draft happens to be here in Nashville this year. And our rivals, the Chicago Blackhawks, get the first overall pick. And it's just like
What if they don't take Bedard?
they're going to.
I know, but like, what if?
They're- what if he falls to 15?
Everyone thought the Texans were going to take Reggie Bush.
Hmm.
Took Mario Williams.
How'd that work out?
No, I mean,
I don't know.
I think Mario Williams might have played longer than Reggie Bush, if I'm being
okay.
honest. But it's still like, you never know.
But yeah,
I mean, they're going to take him.
I don't know. I like I said, I didn't do the best job at
Yeah.
researching it because it was kind of hard to like understand.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's dumb.
it has to do with like certain numbers and how the balls are drawn out of the machine and all
Mhm.
this junk that makes it feel like it's just like there are reporters in there, but they're not like allowed to communicate with the outside world. Like they take their phones, they don't have any video cameras in there like at all, and it's just nobody knows until like they know. And during the draft when they went to commercial, and it was just like, oh yeah, by the way, Columbus got the 3rd pick. It was just like,
Yeah, that
hold
was
on, hold on.
shady.
Why didn't you just wait? Like, why didn't you just wait until like what was the point of that?
I don't know. Kevin Weeks. I don't understand why
Yeah.
He's on someone's payroll.
he sent it to commercial, and as the B-roll was rolling, before the commercial, he was like, "And we'll be back to see who gets the first because Columbus, will get the 3rd."
No, you need to announce it.
Yeah.
In real time.
Mm-hmm.
Like
This
there's
is
like
the draft.
there's like
like-
500 people at a bar in Columbus that were like watching it for like the draft
Sucks.
party to see
Where
who they would draft,
Yeah.
where they would draft because they had a really good shot of getting
Mhm.
the first.
And then it was just like, it's like Nikola Jokic getting drafted during that Taco Bell commercial. If you haven't seen that, it's hilarious.
Even though that's different because that was still the second round.
I know, but it's still just like
It'd be like if
they're showing a
if
like a grilled cheese burrito, and it's just like
if
the Nuggets select.
Jokic was drafted 3rd overall and it was during a Taco Bell
Yeah.
commercial, that would be
Be like-
exactly what it was like.
Yeah, it's exactly what it was like. But I don't know, dude. It feels like I think it's a major consensus around the NHL community that most people do think the NHL draft is rigged.
Yeah.
They highly believe it.
Yeah,
And it's just like,
yeah.
and
I agree.
you know, the NHL isn't as big as the NFL, NBA, or
They need eyes
even
on
the
there.
MLB, but like, I guess I don't blame them for wanting to rig their big market teams because Chicago's their big market.
Mhm.
That might be like, other than the Rangers, that might be like their biggest market that they have,
Probably.
other than like Toronto,
Yeah, Toronto,
Montreal.
maybe Montreal.
Like, yeah.
I mean, if we look at the past few years, like with
Certainly.
the exception of like Buffalo, they've all kind of been like big market teams. Like Montreal had this last one.
The bubble draft too, where like the first overall pick was a team that was eliminated
Yeah,
from
Yeah,
contention in the bubble,
I always.
and it was just like, this was the least probable thing
Yeah.
that could have happened.
yeah.
it was the Rangers.
like,
And then the
Legitimate.
Rangers
Mhm.
get the first overall pick.
I always thought it was kind of shady how the Oilers got McDavid. It was
Yeah.
like you have the next Wayne Gretzky
Mhm.
playing for the Oilers.
But they were also
I mean,
just
they were
consistently
terrible.
They were
so
dog
if
shit.
it was rigged, they earned it.
They,
so I
they
don't.
definitely earned
So
it.
I don't care. And also, they're probably gonna fuck it up. But also, I always thought that was kind of shady. It's like, the next Wayne Gretzky goes to the Oilers. Okay, sure.
They were dog shit.
I mean, they were.
Yeah, they were.
Again, they earned it if it was rigged. Like, happy for them. But
And like many teams were tanking, like on purpose that year.
And they also, like, the NHL doesn't, like, they say they have like a no tank policy. Chicago was tanking.
I mean, the NBA. Oh yeah, NBA has said that too.
Yeah.
I mean, the Sixers were tanking for like a decade,
Yeah.
and it's still about to like bite them in the ass because
It had
they
a name. The
Yeah.
process.
yeah, they were
Yeah.
openly tanking. They were opening like, "Hey, Nerlens Noel, first round
trust
draft
the
pick."
process.
Like, "Hey, we're gonna purposely be dog shit for like 10 years, and then maybe but then we're gonna hire Doc Rivers, who's like the biggest playoff choke artist ever, and he's gonna screw it all up."
Okay, that's a good segue.
Good segue.
Good segue. I was just about to say that. Yeah. Just let's get out of the NHL. Let's go into the NBA.
All right.
So, we were watching the Heat game during the intermission of the
I'll pull
first
this
and second period of the Toronto-Florida game, and Heat were kind of running away with it at the time. I think they were up by 12.
Something like that. They're up. Are
they down?
Knicks are up big. They're up 72-54 with 6 minutes left in the third.
Ooh. Okay. Well, what I said about the Heat is that I think the Heat will get smoked in the Eastern Conference Finals because they are playing the Knicks right now.
The Knicks
The Knicks
stink.
have been notorious for just choking it up.
I also just want to they stink, but you also what Julius Randle said after the last game.
Yeah.
Like
No.
maybe they just
Maybe
want
they
it more.
That's loser talk, dude.
You
that is
should
loser
be
talk.
That's
shipped
loser
out
talk.
for that alone.
Loser.
I mean, he sucks, but you should be shipped out for that alone.
Loser.
And he's sitting there like, I mean, he just looked like a loser. He had like black beanie on, like a black like sweater. He was. Maybe they just want it more. And I was like, okay, you're a loser.
Get out of your pity party and go play some fucking basketball.
He's like the most like, I don't get how he's good. Like when I watch it, like he'll go off sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm like, why? Why is this happening? Why is he good? I feel like when I see him suck, which he's been doing for a good majority of these playoffs, I'm like, this should be right. Granted, I'm not diehard NBA, but I just remember him back. Where was he? I mean, he's been just like, he's not been good for the majority of his career. He had like a good year with the Knicks, and it was like, hey, he's back.
Julius
He's never
Randle.
here, and then he's just not been good. I mean, he was fine this year in the regular season, but since it's like the games mattered, he hasn't been good overall. So I just don't get it. And then now him saying like, oh, maybe the Heat just want it more. Get the hell out.
He's done.
I mean, Stephen A. This is the first time I agree with Stephen A. He needs to be traded.
Yeah.
Especially Thibodeau. Thibodeau won't tolerate that shit.
Yeah. It's a tough thing to hear a player say that, but
It's also supposed to be like your second best player.
yeah.
Like if Anthony Davis was like, "Oh, maybe the Warriors just wanted more," or if Klay Thompson, I guess that'd be more
I
fair.
don't know. But you were, while we were watching the game, you also said that if it does end up, which it very well could be, Sixers and Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals,
Mhm.
that Doc Rivers, like you just said, is the
He
biggest choke artist of our
chokes.
time.
I would
are
honestly.
we looking at a potential Lakers Heat Finals?
It could definitely happen. I mean, it wouldn't shock me.
Is that
if-
an 8-8 in the finals?
It's an 8-7.
8
I
and
think. I'm
7?
pretty sure Los Angeles was a 7.
Oh yeah,
But it's still a bubble rematch.
Yeah.
true.
So we'll finally be. And if I want this,
Would that make up for?
no, it wouldn't. It would. Well,
His
kind
Disney
of.
ship.
If it's Heat Lakers and the Heat win, then the bubble title 100% does not count. Because you had a chance to like redeem yourself. If the Lakers beat the Heat in the championship, I will say bubble title counts. But if they don't, if the Heat win, I'd be like, no, 100% does not count. Erase it from the record books. Because like you get a chance to redeem yourself and you don't. But I mean, we're a long way from that being the case. But
Yeah.
it wouldn't shock me if the Sixers don't win this series.
I mean, they're up right now.
I know, but it's 3-2. Like, just takes Boston one win in Philly, and then anything can happen in Game 7. I'm trying to find the
Sixers.
odds.
Just, I think they're kind of on it. Like, and I have a future on the Celtics to win it all, but it's just I'm just kind of like,
I think
God.
I'm going to take the Celtics in Game 6.
okay.
Just 'cause, I mean, they looked so bad last game,
Yeah.
and I think their coach is a bonehead. But I think firing Ime Udoka was the worst thing they could have done.
Yeah.
That was weird.
That was. Oh, I want to say something, but
I think
it's
that
funny, but it's kind of gross.
if we look at this past year with the Philadelphia teams, I believe it is more likely that the Sixers will win against the Heat to go to the final and then lose.
Oh, if it's Sixers Heat, I'm taking Heat to win the series before
Yeah.
it starts. Yeah, just I mean a little bit because Doc Rivers is just a choke artist.
Mhm.
This is what he does. But right now, Sixers or the Celtics are plus 150 to win the series. I can see they could definitely win this. Like you just got to
do it.
I mean, you got to just take one game in Philly, which I think they will win that game, and then go back to Boston for a Game 7.
Mm-hmm.
I think they can definitely win this series.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I need to look up Doc Rivers' record in elimination games.
It's probably not good.
It's terrible. I just don't want to get it wrong. But it's like,
But it would, besides the Flyers, it would complete
Yeah.
the cycle. Phillies lost.
next year Flyers.
Phillies
the Cup.
lost. Eagles lost. The Philadelphia
MLS team.
I can't remember the
Crew, I think they are or something. No,
name.
it's Columbus Crew.
Um,
Union.
Union sounds correct, but we just need the Sixers to make it to the finals for them to lose.
to complete
to
the
complete
prophecy.
The prophecy of Philly teams cannot win a championship.
Okay, so
And I
in my
blame-
research
and I
for
thank Bill Burr.
sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you, but in my
It's okay.
research for his elimination game record, haven't found that yet. But Doc Rivers has lost the most Game 7s in NBA history.
All right.
So if it goes 7,
If it goes 7, I will unretire for that Celtics game.
I said if even if the Sixers win, I'm taking Heat to win the conference finals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I don't believe in
I would,
the Sixers, or I don't believe in
as
the
like a not really a fan of the NBA, I would really like a 7 and 8 matchup in the
Oh,
finals.
I'd love it.
Yeah.
It's just like I know it's the Lakers, it's LeBron. He's been there a million times, but like it's still like kind of different, you know? Like
I also
It's the same but different.
it's the same, but it's different.
I also wouldn't be shocked if the Warriors come back.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Like, because they're
I
the
don't.
Warriors.
Oh God, I don't want them to win. I want the Warriors.
See that? I want the Warriors to win this series and then get eliminated by the Nuggets.
I would.
don't want like. I acknowledge LeBron is a phenomenal basketball player, one of the best of all time. I do not like him.
Yeah.
I want the
I
Nuggets.
don't want him to get another title.
Now that you say that, I do want the Nuggets to make it to the finals.
I want Jokic to get a ring.
Yeah.
If I'm being
Because-
perfectly honest,
When I was in Colorado in 2021, they have sports gambling there, and it's before I was a part of Action,
Mhm.
and so I was just betting on the Avs. I was betting on the Rockies. I was betting on the Nuggets, and they all just kept winning, and I was just like, dude,
City of Champions.
this is awesome. So I bought a Nuggets hat as a little memento for my time and my winnings in Colorado. So I'm not a Nuggets fan, but I do.
But they're
own some of their merch.
They're your NBA. They have to be your NBA team
Yeah, I guess. would
by
be-
default.
Yeah. But if it comes down to like Nuggets Celtics, I will go Celtics
That's
at this
fair.
point because I do have
I
I
want
have
the Nugget.
actual money on them now.
I want the.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. Okay.
But that would be a great series, Nuggets Celtics.
Celtics. Yeah,
That would actually be a great series that I would really love.
I do want the Nuggets to bounce the Suns. I want Booker to get a ring, but
CP3.
they should not.
He'll never get one.
I mean, I don't. Yeah,
He'll
probably
never
not.
he'll never get one.
I was just
It's
talking about like
38.
they
He'll never get
they
one.
shouldn't bring him back. Like if he's like healthy to go now, don't bring him back.
Yeah.
Because they were 0-2 with him,
Is he-
2-0
is
without
he
him,
hurt
or 2-1 I
Yeah,
guess
he's
without him.
hurt.
Yeah, he pulled his groin in game
Oh.
2,
from fucking
game
too
4.
much?
No, game 4. yeah. Is that a thing?
I don't know.
It happens on the
Just-
court all the time.
Just messing around. Ah.
Leafs just scored. All right, that's probably game.
All right. Well,
I'll take Panther. Well, no.
no, there's half a period left, dude. Come on.
There's still plenty of time.
Look how happy those fans are. That's not right.
Yeah.
The Leafs
That's
are gonna
not
lose
real.
this game.
That's not real.
There's still plenty of time for the Leafs
That's
to mess
not
this
real.
up. If we've learned anything
Yeah. They get too comfortable.
from the past 10 years.
They've lost down, or they were up 2-0 in game 2,
2? Yeah.
and they lost.
How much time was left in that game?
They went up 2-0
Early,
really quick.
like in the first period.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, there's 10 minutes left.
All Florida has to do is turn it on.
That's it. Yeah.
It's
Yeah, just turn it on.
they can easily collapse. Colorado, the Sunshine State.
City by the Bay. I don't have anything else for the NBA.
For the NBA.
I think that might be it. Yeah, I don't want to see LeBron get another one, but I also don't want to see the Warriors get another one.
I agree. I
Those
want
two teams need to be out.
I want the Warriors to win this series and then lose to Denver or Phoenix, whoever. Because I could stand seeing the Warriors win another one. I don't want LeBron to get another one.
You could stand another Warriors championship.
I could live.
Can't.
I could live because I really like Steph, and I want Steph to pass LeBron in rings so we can start talking about, is Steph better than LeBron? He's not, but
I think that's fair.
I just want that to be the new thing when
Well, no, I don't.
because I'm tired of seeing MJ, LeBron. I want LeBron,
talk
Steph,
about-
just constant.
See, the one thing I hate about like watching Sports Center like
Undisputed
every day,
first take,
Undisputed,
yeah.
first take, fucking almost it's like clockwork. Like every week.
They had it on.
They have a debate. Is LeBron better than Michael Jordan? It's like, motherfucker. Are we gonna do this 52 weeks?
They had
a
it on,
year? Like.
They had it on. I think it was Tuesday or yesterday. I think it was on First Take. When I didn't see the actual segment because it sounded unbearable, but I saw like a thing like coming up next, GOAT debate, and it was like LeBron like driving to the hole or something. I was like, God, like stop, just stop. If he wins another ring, okay, whatever. You have nothing else to talk about because it's the summer. But stop.
Yeah.
I'm
It's the conference semis.
At
Like,
this
shut the
point-
hell up. Like, even if he might be. Shut up.
Even in the off season.
That's all they have to talk about.
I know, but like even in the off season, it's just like everybody who cares about this already has an opinion. Nobody's changing
you're
their
100%
mind,
Right,
Yeah.
and nobody's gonna switch sides.
It's like arguing politics on Facebook. Like, you're not going to win anyone over. You're just going to spew like your opinions into the void.
it's just I know, like I'm like, God, do they not have anything else to talk?
That's what I'm saying. Like, in the summer when it's just like, well, it's just baseball. Then it's like,
I
yeah,
think-
I'd rather hear Stephen A. talk about LeBron and MJ than watch him attempt to know something about baseball.
I like to think in the off season, like the writers of First Take are just like,
Probably gone
hey, what do we got? And it's just like, oh, God. I mean, we could just do LeBron versus MJ again. And it's like, that's perfect. What are you talking about?
That's
You get a
gold.
raise.
Marlins and Nationals went to extras last night. You want to talk
It's
about
like,
that?
no.
The who? MJ LeBron.
Where do the Marlins play?
And obviously, like, Stephen A. won't talk about the NHL, or like First Take won't talk about the NHL.
I'm at least he's transparent about it.
Yeah, but then like that clip is so weird because he's just like, yeah, we don't talk about hockey, but I have my good friend Gary Bettman, and it's just like, you just said your good friend is the commissioner of the National Hockey
Well,
League,
it's like
but
when
you're
he-
like, I don't want to talk about
It's
it.
like when he tries to know something about college football and he's like, oh, Nick Saban, that's my buddy. Alabama should be in the playoff. They lost 2 games, so no, they shouldn't. But
I mean,
let's
Oh,
go
that's
power
right.
play.
it's just also just the NHL signed this deal with ESPN this year,
Yeah.
and then they're just like, no, we're not going to talk about it.
That was my
And it's just like, what are you talking about?
on Tuesday on First Take. Something happened in the lacrosse world where like
Oh boy.
hear me. It was like I think it was like the major. I saw this all from this like 2-minute First Take segment. The Major League Lacrosse merged with like the PLL, I assume Premier
Professional
Lacrosse
League?
League or whatever.
Professional.
Professional, maybe. I don't
Something
fucking,
like
I
that.
don't fucking know.
Yeah.
They
That's all.
merged. So and they signed a deal with ESPN or something. So they had the commissioner or some spokesman on First Take, and it was just so funny. It was like, I was like, Stephen A., you openly like you don't know shit about hockey, and you're like gonna like try to have an opinion on fucking lacrosse.
Cross is a rich kid's game.
Yeah. I think I did see a clip of PK going on First Take and trying to talk with Stephen A. about it because they were talking about
Stephen
it was
Well.
during the first round when they were talking about the Rangers because Stephen A.'s in New York.
He's from New York, or he lives in New York, so he has to pretend to have an opinion.
Yeah. And PK's like, they're gonna lose. And he was like,
no.
This is New York, baby.
we don't lose to New Jersey.
See, it's like Stephen A's like
Stephen
one of the
A. should-
best of all time in terms of like what he does is just fire off opinions.
Oh, they scored.
Let's go!
All right.
Just one more, baby.
Stephen A. should cover himself in dirt and take a nap.
In the summer, I love when he talks about basketball and occasionally the NFL. I'm like, okay, you actually know what you're talking about. When he talks about anything else, like when he said Shohei Ohtani couldn't be the face of the league because he's Asian. I was like, bruh,
Okay.
holy shit.
That's like low key racist.
Well, it was because he couldn't speak English very well. It's like, yeah, 80%, maybe not 80, a majority of the league cannot speak English.
Yeah.
At least very well at all.
Yeah.
They're all from Latin American countries.
Or Asia.
Or Asia, yeah.
And it's like there's like 5 from America.
And one of them is Mookie Betts.
The other one's Mike Trout.
I saw this TikTok the other day of this Padres fan. He made a sign because he was like sitting on like the upper level, but he was like up against the rail. He made a sign that said, "Mookie Betts eats corn the long way."
I saw that. I saw that and I was like,
Oh no!
is that like a dick sucking joke? Or
Yes.
Okay, because they acknowledged it like on
Yeah.
the post game thing.
Yeah, he was like, that was like one of the best signs I've ever seen.
Yeah, and I was like, are they gonna acknowledge that it was a dick sucking joke? And he didn't.
Or maybe it's just, it's
Oh,
like
dude, that's
just
so
a weird.
That's why
like
he was like,
just
oh,
a
it's just
weird.
like, hey, he eats it weird.
We
He doesn't
don't
actually do
we don't
that.
judge him.
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with the way
My
he
cousin
eats
eats
corn.
My dad eats corn.
With the way he eats corn.
I saw that TikTok and I was like, man, that's
That was hilarious.
so funny. All right, well, we've been going for like 40-ish minutes, or
Yeah.
like no, we've been going for like 50 minutes.
But we, nah,
Yeah, anyway.
but I didn't expect to go that long.
Yeah.
We just kind of.
I was kind of wondering today what we were going to talk about. I actually went the whole day thinking that the NFL schedule came out, but that's tomorrow.
Comes out
It's
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
So
Yeah,
we'll have.
I figured
we'll,
that out.
We'll talk about that next
Next
week.
Yeah.
We could do a.
But we do know one piece of information about the Titans that I want to just gloss over real quick.
Uh-huh.
The Titans will be playing in London against the Ravens in Week 6. And I'm very glad that game is not here in Nashville. If it is one thing I hate, it is when Ravens fans come to Nashville.
Mhm.
I get angry.
Do we?
You two have seen me angry.
Yeah.
I will not disclose things that I did, but
No possible assault charges.
no possible assault charges. But I'm
Allegedly.
very glad that the people in London have to deal with those
Scumbags.
Baltimore.
White
Scum.
trash.
What we should do for next week, everyone bring like a couple win totals since the schedule will be out.
Okay.
We can
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that.
bring a couple
I
wins
like
over or under.
Yeah.
Let's talk about
Yeah,
that. We can
I
do
like
that
that.
for
We can
our
do that.
post playoff talk.
I like
Yeah.
that.
We'll have a week to do that, so.
Yeah.
I'll probably do it day of. Though.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, exactly. That's what it's. Well, we've been going for a little bit. Chris, do you want to wrap it up with some XFL and USFL?
I would love nothing more. Will
How did you do last week?
3-1 in the USFL.
Seems we're coming around that
Catching the
corner.
bug. We'll see how this week goes. We'll start this week off, though, with the finale of Chris's XFL Gambling Corner with the XFL Championship. Renegades, Defenders, over under 48. Defenders favored by 6.5. I said last week I was going to take the over. That was before I saw it was 48. That's high. I don't like that.
It's really high for an
I thought it was
XFL
going to be
game.
like 43 or something like that. So I'm going to take Renegades plus 6.5. I feel like you give me almost a touchdown in any sort of championship game, I'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Renegades have been they caught fire at the right time. They're a sub 500 team playing for a championship. They're fucking hungry.
They got nothing to lose.
Yeah. So let's go. Renegades plus 6.5. The final play of Chris's XFL Gambling Corner. I'm pretty excited. Be a little emotional, honestly. But
Hey, either way, you'll come out on top.
we will. But there's no time to talk about all that sentimental stuff because we got the USFL to get into. First game. Saturday, 11:30 a.m. Central Time. Michigan Panthers hosting the Pittsburgh Maulers. Pittsburgh Maulers took it to, I believe it was the Stallions last week. First place in the USFL. It was a close game. The Maulers kind of stink. Panthers are favored by 3.5. Give me the Maulers plus 3.5. I think they'll keep it close. Next game, 3:00 on Saturday. Houston Gamblers at Birmingham Stallions. Same philosophy as last week. Stallions go up a lot of points. They score a lot of points. Over 48. I feel like that's pretty simple. And then we go to Sunday. Generals visiting the Philadelphia Stars. Line is 6.5 in favor of the Generals. Over under 43.5. I bet on Philly last week. They burned me big. I think I bet them minus 2.5. I think they lost by like 30. So, like, legitimately, I think it was like, well, maybe not 30, but I think it was like 41-16 was the final. So, we'll take Generals minus 6.5 because, yikes, because they wronged me. So I'm going to bet against them.
Right.
And then to kick it, for the finale, whatever you want to call it, the Showboats visiting the New Orleans Breakers. Breakers favored by 7, over under 48.
Before you go, I think the Showboats may be the worst team in the league.
They won last week outright. Yeah. I mean, they were winless before that. I do agree the Showboats do kind of stink.
They kind of stink.
Breakers are really good. Take Breakers minus 7. And that is Chris's USFL gambling corner with a little bit more research than last week.
All right.
But let's see if we can go 3-1 again. If not 4-0.
Hell yeah.
Well, I guess maybe 5-0 with the XFL in there.
Could be.
What is your USFL record?
3-1.
3-1. Okay.
Oh yeah. I didn't want. Oh, funny story. I was on Sunday. I was at a baby shower, and it was winding down, and people were leaving, and I was in the living room, and the remote was sitting right next to me. I was like, "There's a USFL game on right now." Let's flip it on NBC. Let's check it out. See what's going on. I watched about 5 minutes, and then someone else came in who I had met a couple times before, and he was like, "There's a playoff." He's a big hockey fan. He was like, "I think the Hurricanes game is going on right now. We should watch that." Why are we watching the USFL? And I was like, "Yeah, who put it on then?" Didn't have the heart to tell him. I was like, "Yeah,
I got money
got money on it, man." But then I flipped it over to that game, to the Hurricanes game, and I watched that game go over to cash another bet.
There you go. It's a win-win.
Yeah.
Sounds like it was a good baby shower.
It actually was a pretty good baby shower. I had a couple drinks, watched some hockey. It was a good time.
Okay.
All right, right on.
Baby showers don't sound so bad.
It was all right.
Don't invite me to another.
I have to go to another one. Apparently, both sides of the family throw a baby shower.
I don't think that's normal.
I've never done this before. So this isn't. Yeah, I opened an invitation I think it was about a week ago in the mail, and it was another baby shower. I was like, who else is having a kid? And my girlfriend was like, oh, it's husband's family is hosting this one. I was like, I got to go to another one of these things for the same kid.
If they have another one, they'll only do one.
Oh, if they have another one,
they might not even.
You shouldn't even have. You should only have baby showers for the first one. That's at least my philosophy, and I have spent no time around people with kids. So, other than like my parents.
All right, well, that's probably going to be it for us. Thank you so much for listening and watching. We really, really appreciate it.
Keep it.
Chris is sweating one out. There's 20 seconds left in this Toronto game.
They're going to lose.
Yeah, they're going to lose.
Yep, that's it.
Oh, no, you can still get it.
No.
I guess.
This is the last chance, though.
This is.
I mean, they're not going to get it. You should go. Just fucking do
not
something.
even gonna get in the
Or
zone.
what was that? Whatever.
There it is. Toronto will not be swept. But we will catch you next
Oh.
week.
Oh.
Wow.
Brouhaha.
And they're throwing.
They're
oh,
throwing
fans are throwing trash. On
Why?
The ice.
Okay, I
Throwing
guess
trash
like
or the rats.
I think 2 people. No, there was like it looked like some cups or something.
Huh.
It was only like 2 people. That guy just straight up punched.
God, you win 6 games in a row, and you're like, you suck. I'm gonna throw trash on the ice.
Yeah, like, come on. Like,
Shut up.
Florida trash. Anyway, that's going to be it for us. Thank you so much for listening and watching. We really appreciate it. Follow us on Twitter for daily gambling picks. Chris tweets out all of his picks
every day.
and his USFL, XFL bets. Yep, link in the bio. Yeah, that's going to be it for us. There's 3 of us. Now let's make some money.
Woo. Woo.
Ow!